My name is Mary Beth Lee, and I'm an Intel analyst at the Vertex project. In today's video, we're going to do an introduction to the Synapse Recorded Feature Power-Up. Power-ups are services and packages that help to extend the functionality of Synapse. The Synapse Recorded Feature Power-Up allows analysts to enrich indicators with data from recorded feature. The Synapse Recorded Feature Power-Up allows analysts to query hashes, IP addresses, FQDNs, and URLs, and then import the results of those queries back into Synapse. It supports several different storm commands, which we can actually see if we go over to the console tool here. The first two of these, the co-refs command and the enrich command, are both going to be also added as node actions within the research tool so that you can access them through there. The first command that you see, the recorded feature co-refs command, is something that when you query indicators against this command, it's going to bring back indicators that are co-referenced along with your initial indicator. The other command that we have here, the recorded feature enrich command, is going to bring back kind of a variety of data related to the initial query that you ran. So this data will include things like any sort of matching risk rules from recorded feature, as well as linked MITRE tactics and techniques that are associated with your queried indicator. It'll also bring back related reporting by recorded feature analysts. And also any sort of threat actor names or malware family names that are also referenced in those reports. Lastly, it's going to bring back a risk attack type node, letting you know the type of activity that was referenced by those reports that also referenced your indicator. The recorded feature enrich command is also going to populate two extended properties on your queried indicator. This will be the risk criticality property, which ranges from 0 to 4. Any indicator that recorded feature considers to be a more critical risk is going to have a higher number there. And then the recorded feature risk score, which is going to range from 0 to 99, based on recorded features documents. Anything with a risk score above 70 or above rather, is considered malicious. And these scores are based on any sort of risk rules that match with your queried indicator. In addition to the co-refs command and the enrich command, which are commands that you query specific indicators against, there are two additional commands, the recorded feature risk rules command, which gives you a way to pull back all of the recorded feature risk rules into your cortex, along with any MITRE tactics and techniques that map to those rules. And then there's also a search command that allows you to do a broader search of recorded features data, including several different options. Well, you can run these commands in either the console tool where we are currently or in the research tool. We also have a Synapse recorded feature workflow that you can use as well. The Synapse recorded feature workflow is helpful if you have either specific indicators that you'd like to query against the Synapse recorded feature Power-Up, or if you'd like to run a more general search against the Power-Up. We're going to walk through two different scenarios to help illustrate how analysts can use this Power-Up. And the first one, we'll pretend that I have this MD5 hash that I'm curious about, and I'd like to see what recorded feature knows about it. I currently don't know anything about this hash. I just know that it was mentioned somewhere where they said it might be associated with the Lazarus group, which is kind of an umbrella term for North Korean threat activity. If I go ahead and run this MD5 in the research tool, I can see that there are no results, which tells me that we don't have any data about this in Synapse currently. So this is a good candidate for enriching this against recorded features data set. So from here, I'll go over to the workflows tool. I'll switch from the type to the hash, and then I'll put in my MD5 here and go ahead and submit this. So it brought me back a result here. I can see that it had 7 hits, which these are the risk rules that it hit against. And I can see it has a risk score of 70, which lets me know that it's considered malicious. And then I have a first scene and a last scene, which lets me know when recorded feature saw this in its data. If I want some more details here, I can go and click on the menu here and go to view details. It'll show me several different tabs that breaks down what recorded feature knows about this MD5 hash. The risk tab will do a breakdown of the different matching risk rules that match on this MD5. And it will also give me the criticality, the timestamp of when it matched, and then a little bit more information about the name of the rule and then the evidence supporting this match against this rule. The analyst notes tab will include a synopsis of public reporting that reported on this indicator or this hash in my case. So this is something that a recorded feature analyst wrote, summarizing a ASEC report on this hash, and they also included another hash that appeared in that same report, and it looks like I have 2 file names as well. Links will show any sort of MITRE attack tactics and TTPs that are related to my MD5 hash. It also gives me a threat actor name that also was found in public reporting. So here I can see that there's that Lazarus group mentioned. Citings will include not only the recorded feature analyst report, but it will also include some of the original reporting about this hash. So I can see the ASIC blog. It looks like another entry on the ASIC blog as well. And then there's nothing here for the threat list mentioning my hash, but this is if I had, say, an IP address or a domain that appeared on a block list, it would show up here and tell me what that list was. So from looking through that data, I might decide that I've seen enough to make me think that this is worth a little bit more of an investigation. So at this point, I might go over to the menu and decide that I want to save the results. And then I'd like to go and lift the nodes in the research tool so I can do some more exploration. From here, I'm going to right click and go to node actions and then use that second node actions command, co-references, to pull in any sort of co-references that recorded feature has. So I can see that it made 14 edits on 2 nodes. And then if I explore out from my MD5 hash, I can see all the different data that was brought in, both when I saved the results from the workflow, as well as when I just ran that co-reference command as a node action. So I'm going to go down to my IT exec query node, which this is the results of that, or this is the query that I ran with that co-references node action. And if I explore off from this, I can see the results of that query. And it looks like it found that the reports that mentioned my hash also mentioned a software product name, which is Windows Remote Management. It looks like there are 3 other MD5 hashes that were also mentioned in those reports, as well as my original hash at the end here. The name Lazarus Group was also something that was found in those reports. And when I click on it, I can see in the details side panel on the side that it has that rep recorded feature threat actor tag, letting me know that recorded feature considers this a threat actor name. I can see the risk attack type node that was created. DLL sideloading is the activity that was mentioned. And then the meta source just letting me know that this is something that all came in through the through the recorded feature API, through that Synapse recorded feature Power-Up. So from here, I might decide that recorded feature gave me a few different starting points for my research, and there's some other power-ups that I want to take advantage of, or some other capabilities that Synapse has that I want to use to find out more information about this hash and how it relates to the other information that recorded feature provided. I could do things like I could pivot back to the media news nodes representing these ASIC blogs. I can pull in file bytes data for these MD5 hashes, maybe some dynamic analysis from some of our other power-ups. I can run them through YARA rules, things like that. I can always go and I can pivot on this OU name Lazarus group to see if this is mentioned anywhere else, to see if it connects to anything else in the graph, and if there's more information that I can find out about what recorded feature considers the Lazarus group, or what other organizations consider this threat group to be. There's all kinds of different ways that I can kind of pivot off of what I have to do a more thorough investigation. So in this demo, we just use the Synapse recorded feature Power-Up to enrich a specific IOC. However, there are also other ways that you can leverage the Power-Up. One of them that we mentioned is doing a broader search using something like maybe recorded features risk rules or their search functionality. So for this, we'll go over to the workflows. And let's say that I wanted to do a broader search for suspicious domains that might be worth further investigation. So I'm going to change the search type from hash to domain. I'm going to go ahead and clear that. I'm going to set my limit to 15 just so I have something manageable to start with. And then I want to search by risk rule. I'm going to ask for all of the domains that were recently reported by the INSICT group, which is Recorded Features Analyst team. I'm going to ask it to order by criticality because I am specifically interested in those that were mentioned that are considered very malicious. And then I would like this to be descending order. And I'll go ahead and query this. So these are the results that were brought back. I can see how many hits there were on the risk rules. I can also see the risk score. If I wanted to go ahead and sort those, I can just see which ones are considered to have the higher score. They're considered more malicious. So from here, if I wanted to go ahead and I could save the results, I could save them and add them to my Synapse instance and go explore them in the research tool. I could use additional power-ups to pull in any further information about these domains and see if there's something that I want to investigate further, if it's something that is related to activity that we know of or activity that's been publicly reported. It's really a place where I can kickstart a further investigation. So in closing, the Synapse Recorded Feature Power-Up is a way for users with a Recorded Feature API key to query recorded features data for additional context related to specific indicators and to import that information into Synapse. Users can also take advantage of the Synapse Recorded Feature Power-Up workflow to run queries and import their findings, or use the research or console tools to run storm commands or leverage the Synapse Recorded Feature node actions.